So I'm still a big proponent of keeping this buckle kind of right here in the center. And putting it right over the ends of right here. But also the sheath, line that sheath up so you're not overstacking. Yeah, no, so I'll go seam to seam. This, so you're not overlayering it. It gives it a little different opening, but I mean it's basically three layers back here. But it keeps it clean right here.
Yeah.
Putting concealed. Nice and clean. So just two.
Yeah.
So about sizing. This thing's a pain in the ass, and it's a pain in the ass for a reason, to make it loose. A lot of people complain it's hard to get out, but you can do it if it's loose enough. Kind of squeeze it, push it through till you get that. Some of these are tighter. Have to get some like needle nose. Try and push it up some so you get a little angle. Either pull these up. You're gonna have to pull. People may say, why is it so hard? It's like, so when it's under tension, it doesn't slip. That's why it's weight loaded.
The only adjustment becomes the inner belt after that. How tight can you put that thing on?
So, with it, you know, fairly loose, so you can adjust it. Basically, start again where you want that buckle to kind of end up. I prefer right here in the center. Going all the way around the Velcro. So a little loose. Try and pull it tight as you can. As long as you're comfortable. You might have to take it off to get the last little bit. Pull it till it's tight. Do another resize real quick. Tight. Cool. No space. Pull it back off. So we have bar tacks all the way across so you can cut down the length. Pick and choose what you like. I like to leave at least, you know, 2 bar tacks, if not 3, left over. Do a couple different ways if you have a hot knife, a blade, or kind of shears. But cut it. But yeah, you use a lighter just to melt all the edges so they don't fray. So now that size, I kind of will fold it back up on itself. You can tape it with Velcro. Just want to Velcro it, or you can tape it up. So, putting your belt on and choosing where you want your holster is key. Where you want it to fall. I'm a lefty, so kind of picturing where you want your holster to ride. Maybe a little further back here. Some people like it up here, straight up and down. Picking those 2 blocks where they are. You can do a couple things. You have some tools. You can put in that first molly, and that's where you'll start it. True North. They're rigid, light, function really well. So just use their MHA and one of their leg straps. I like to set these 2 bars before putting on the MHA, but some people might bolt these on first and then put them through the molly. Just makes it a little difficult. But sometimes these need to be loosened up a little bit. You can use a flathead. Another tool kind of similar. So once you have them lined up, you can do another check real quick. Just make sure you didn't put them in the wrong location. That's good. You feel good with it. Put it together. You can just tighten the bolts down till they're finger tight, and then we'll tighten them all down evenly. Because if you just wrench one down, then it'll make kind of the holster offset. So you get it all kind of finger tight. We'll just kind of start tightening them down. Go clockwise, counterclockwise. See as you tighten down, kind of those washers pushing out. Pretty even. Something you can do is drop some Loctite right under here on the back side as well. That way you don't have to worry about the screws backing out. So next, IFAC. A lot of med patches out there. This is just a LBT. We'll slip it on the belt and then we'll kind of weave it in the nollie too. I don't think there's anything more that I hate than an uneven med pack.
Oh, dude, it's so worse.
An uneven med pack that you've mollied in on your back.
Same thing.
It's the worst.
Canted helmet.
That's it. It's those two things.
It's combo between those two. Yeah. So, you get a partner assist here. You can kind of just move this thing around for your buddy. So I tell him he's square right here. So it's where we need it to be, because if I don't, and he starts to molly one space over, it's going to be offset off the center line, and it's going to drive him insane. So I can take this right now, and I can pinch this belt, and whenever he drops it, now he can start to process. Now I've locked in this piece of molly for him. He knows exactly where it is. And he knows that's exactly where it needs to be to keep on his center line. There's a couple things you can't have offset. One's a holster, the other one's a med pouch, just for riding in a vehicle, man, if that thing's off to one side, like it really starts to dig in you, it's uncomfortable. So set it right the first time, obsess over the details, like...
Another safety check too, once you kind of get that first molly in there and that whole thing's set, put it back on. Feels right, Jeff? Just finish it up. We obsess over the details. I've obviously worn this med pouch before, but I hated how you tighten it down and it would always come loose, or the thing would just dangle. So just little shit like this, taping it up so it just doesn't dangle around or come loose. Oh. Talk about a couple mag placement, pistol, rifle. So you guys wear them more up front or kind of to the back. I always place mine closer, more on my sides, just because I'm always wearing gear and I want to stay slick. So having these on the side, if I have to use or do mag changes from the belt, I have a clear kind of pull. Vice up front. I have other stuff up front, so try and keep it always on my side.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had my stuff up front. This is for a slick range setup, so I can work out of it expedient. When you have kit on, yeah, everything has to kind of go off to the side. That's why I don't really have this thing fixed on, so I can slide it all the way back, because I'm not working out of there if I have kit. Static range belt, different strokes for different folks. But, yeah, and you got to obsess about details. You got to be able to explain why for everything.
Okay, putting any kit or belts together is like a workout. Mm-hmm. All these little tricks of the trade. How many times you've stabbed yourself doing that?
Oh, man.
Keep your fingers out of the way.
Dude, I have more stitches from putting on gear than anything else. But trying to cut a zip tie.
With your fixed blade.
Oh, absolutely.
Comes from, you set it up, you want it to be pretty perfect, but you get to the range, you shoot, and there's a couple little things that are just getting hung up. I wish this moved over a little bit. I wish this was over here. And I think a lot of people go back after that range day. If you don't adjust the gear right after that, you're either going to forget or you're going to go to the range the next time and have the same problem. It's just going to keep frustrating you. So it's worth doing it immediately after you discover these little things.
Bring extra pouches to the range, zip tie, constantly evolving this thing, because it's not going to get better over time. It's only going to get worse. Like that thing that's driving into your hip now is only going to be exponentially worse in 6 hours. That, and then guys who sit in a vehicle all day long, they have a completely different set of problems. It's like, we put these things here, it's like, yeah, now sit in a car and have all that driving your rib cage all day long.
Pouches are on, so we'll just make sure they're in the right spot. I don't think we have a single matching pouch. They're from all three like separate companies. But we always talk about it. It's like we like certain kit from certain companies. We piece it together and we mix our kit.
It's got to be functional. Doesn't have to be fancy.
So that's where it rests. There. And I kind of really wish I had moved it up one.
There it is. Gotta get it done now.
Yep. Gotta do it now. Fuck. I wish I had done this first. Got too cocky.
That's part of it.
It's crazy though. I mean, you talk about the minute details. Like, I'm moving it 1.5 inches over.
An inch and a half.
An inch and a half.
It might as well be a mile. It might as well not even be on it. You can't
Oh, it's not a
index
big
that
deal. 1.5
thing.
inches.
Bro,
Oh.
if you can't index that thing when you need to, it might as well not be. Just put it in your back pocket.
Inches matter.
An inch is too.
It just matters.
God, I'd kill for an extra inch and a half.
Oh man. So we were definitely practicing what we preach about fixing it now. Because I know that shit would bug the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I don't fix it.
Yeah, it won't be better on Monday.
Nope.
And the next thing, that's when it's the worst. When you're shooting, you're like,
Literally,
I should have moved this. I don't
moving
have
it
time
one-
to take a break.
just
Move it now. I
one
gotta shoot with it where I don't.
Loop over.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Here we
We
go.
got it screwed over. Let's make sure it's good. Yes. That 1.5 inches matters. Super modular holster can kind of go 3 different levels. You fix it with 3 bolts. I use 3, but in a triangle kind of pattern because it allows me to angle it. I prefer angling it forward because I have shoulder issues. So it allows me to draw better. So I get these kind of just tight because I'll adjust it once I get all 3 of them connected. So I max mine all the way out. I just know the setting. So that's what the 3 pattern looks like. Little trick too, you can always put some more leftie just on these 3 so the screws won't back out. All empty. Draw feels good. Talk about the leg strap for a few. I've been running that old Safari lane, like double one forever.
Yeah, so what?
I think people have asked why we run the clips back, slice forward. It's a pain in the ass to clip it, but having it forward, if anything hits that plastic, make noise. Too, it's kind of a break point in it. It's all plastic. Just having it out of the way, back here, behind your leg, or kind of as close up to the back side of your leg. Just clean. Doesn't catch on anything. And that is how you build a lefty belt.